Welcome back to the channel. I've spent my entire week behind the wheel of this 2024 Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Now, it's meant to be a subcompact SUV, but to me, it looks like more of a hot hatch, and also the way it performs is more of like a hot hatch. So we're gonna take a look at all of that. I'm gonna take you through the exterior, the interior, and then of course the POV drive. Let's get right into it. So first up, as usual, we have the front end. We've got the classic Mercedes grille, the nice Mercedes badge, as well as the good looking AMG badge right here, and the nice one right here up on the hood. I've got really nice daytime running LEDs that kind of do animations when you unlock them at night. You can see that there is some like nice splitter down there. I do like the design of the front here. We've got a front parking camera and also parking sensors all over the front, because this is, you know, it's got the 360 package on here as well. I'll go over the packages in just a second, but yeah, I really like it. It looks aggressive up front, looks like it's ready to roll, ready to rock, and that's what you're looking for when you think AMG, so this definitely doesn't disappoint me. So the base price for this Mercedes starts at $61,800, but I have a couple of packages on here that's going to kind of drive that price up just a little bit. So I've got the AMG 5 twin spoke wheels, I got the Burmeister surround sound system, the AMG night package, which is giving us some black emblems and the blacked out roof rails. I've got the AMG driver's package. That is, you're going to see that on the interior with the nice Alcantara trim kind of steering wheel. Absolutely love that. I've also got a 360 camera, which I just mentioned. I've got the illuminated star patterned interior, which again, you'll see on the inside. It's very nice. That brings our as tested price to $76,810, and that is all in Canadian. So next up, I want to talk to you about what is under the hood. I have the AMG Enhanced 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, giving us 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Now, I've also got a 48-volt mild hybrid assist system on board that's providing a temporary 13 horsepower boost. So next up, we come to the side profile. This is where you can see kind of the compactness, but I really enjoy the ride height, which I'll talk about ride quality when we take it for a drive. So let's actually zoom in here. You can see I've got those upgraded rims as well, with kind of like a thin, it looks like a white wall, but it's actually kind of like a chrome piece right here, but it looks really good. Mercedes logo right there. We got the turbo 4MATIC badge, basically just telling you that it is of course all-wheel drive. Got a camera underneath my side mirror here, also turn signal LEDs, very nice, and you can see it says Mercedes-Benz right in the logo, right in the mirror right there. And also I've got one-touch lock and unlock buttons for all 4 of the doors, which is very, very convenient. This color looks fantastic. I really like it in this blue here. Shines very well in the sun, like you can see right here. Now, last but not least is the rear for the GLA 35. You can see I've got really nice tail lights here. I've got a really clean looking kind of diffuser with the exhaust right down here, which does actually have some decent tune to it. Got parking sensors, the cameras, all that's there. Would have loved to see this guy tucked up underneath here, because I worry that this might break in the winter, but those that own this in the winter are gonna have to tell me. You can see we got the GLA 35 badge right there, AMG badge right there. We love that. So one more thing I want to show you before we hit on the inside is of course the trunk space, automatic tailgate, which is very good. I was surprised about the amount of trunk space. You can move these seats backwards and forwards. I got them in the full back position, so I'm losing a slight bit of trunk space. We've also got some storage under the floor here. It's not too much, but it's you know, it's enough for maybe a couple of things there, but this is pretty good. We've got this little privacy guide that you can remove. I actually did have to remove it when I had my stroller in here because it was interfering with the way that the trunk was closing, so I did have to remove it, but I've put it back now so that you guys can see it. But yeah, overall I'm satisfied with the trunk space. I'm really satisfied with the interior space, so let's jump to that. All right, as usual, let's start off with the back for the Mercedes GLA 35. So nothing crazy going on with the door. There's no like different kind of materials. I don't have the package that would turn it red or anything like that. So you can see the seats is the same thing, very much black with the white stitching, but still very nice leather, very comfortable stuff to touch and feel. And then you can see kind of the space I have to get in. These seats are actually moved back. They can move backwards or forwards, but I think to have them all the way back really gives us the most space we can have here. So let's get in and close it. It's a really nice closing sound. We've got some storage here in front of us. We do have 2 vents back here, which is very nice to have. 2 USB-C, as well as a little bit of storage here and here. So I like the fact that we still have vents. Despite this being a compact vehicle, we still have vents here. It's very nice. If, for whatever reason, you do want to move your seats forward or back, there's a bar right underneath. You got to pull and push, and you'll be able to do that. I've got this guy that's going to come down right here, where it'll have these nice pop-out kind of cup holders that are nice and compact. If not, you just have a nice armrest. we like that. I do like the silver here on the door, although it does crack just a little bit when you touch it. And then also I have a nice speaker back here, and you can't really see it on camera, but there is some nice ambient lighting right here. You can also see right here, there's plenty of room for your feet. So like, look, I'm 5'11", sitting behind my driver profile. I still have room back here, and I'm still super comfortable, and I've got so much room for my feet, and I don't feel like my legs are like pressed up against the seat by any means. So I could actually do a pretty lengthy road trip. We also got a sunroof there and one here. So usually I have my kid here. I don't have the car seat in right now, but I do have the mirror right there. But usually I have her in here, so I keep this close so the sun isn't directly on her. So that's something very nice. We don't have any privacy shades or anything like that, but the window's actually small enough that I could put one myself, and it's going to look very good. We also have 2 speakers right back here behind the headrest, which is very nice. And yeah, overall, it's a really, really solid rear end. Again, no special colors, nothing like that. But honestly, I don't really feel like I need it in this trim. And honestly, if we want to keep the cost low, then that's what we're gonna have to do. So let's check out the business end though. Let's hop up front. All right, next up is the business end, the front seat. Here we go. So you can see a little bit more detail with the doors here. We do have 3 memory seat settings. We do have the controls as in Mercedes fashion for the seats. 3 levels of heated seating. This grayed out button would be for the ventilation if you optioned it. Little trunk button up here, standard window controls here as well, and also the very nice speaker. This AMG door sill right here, the camera's kind of reflecting weird, you can't see it. AMG door sill right here lights up at night. Take a look at the seats. You can see that it's, again, nothing special, very much the black with the white stitching, but you can pull this out, push this in as like a little leg rest for yourself. I do enjoy that. So let's hop in, because I really want you to see and appreciate this steering wheel. Look at how nice this steering wheel is. It's telling me that it's going to shut off because I haven't been driving. I've been in and out. That's fine. So look how nice this steering wheel is. This is a driver's package, so it's going to cost you a little bit more to get it, but it comes with this nice Alcantara kind of trim around. Feels really good in the hand. How long that's going to last long term, I don't know. Mercedes owners, you're going to have to tell me if yours is aged well or not. Metal paddle shifters up and down, fun to use, fast transmission. We'll talk about that when I drive it. These buttons here, some people are going to hate them, some people are going to like them. You can click them in to like select stuff. Say I can control my infotainment, so like I can select like the home navigation. So it does click in, and it is a good kind of click to it, so that's good. But I do have media controls and stuff like that. It's like sliders. Over here I got the settings for my cruise control, stuff like that. So this dial right here makes me feel like an absolute F1 driver. You can see I have Sport Plus, I have my individual, and then snow mode. Very cool. I love how the little icon changes, and you can kind of change some of the stuff on the fly. Like, so I can be in comfort and I can have the Sport Plus if I want, and I can have the AMG Dynamics activated in comfort. You can't change the engine mode for that. You do have to kind of go up. In any mode, you have to make sure that you're here, unless you do individual, and then you can change it to wherever you want on the fly. So that's cool. Then I'll come over here where this is really cool, because there's actually a setting, and I'll show you in a second where that is. There's actually a setting where you can kind of customize what you want to see on these little quick selector things. So say, you know, I'm in my individual and I want some sport mode, so I can click that. I want to go manual mode, I can click that and activate it. But I can also change it to have my auto start stop on, auto start stop off. It's really, really cool, and there's like endless kind of like combinations that you can do. You see, like, it's not always the same thing. It's really fun. I kind of usually keep it on my suspension mode, because sometimes I'm in full sport mode plus and I just want the comfort suspension on, and then the manual mode, I keep that on as well, because it's fun to just be able to take manual control and the car stays in full manual. Now before I get over there, left hand side, we have all our lighting controls, very basic stuff, nothing crazy to go over. So let me show you the settings. So here we go. This is where you're going to find it. We also have like different track pace stuff you can see here, where it tells me only use it on public roads. I can do drag race, telemetry, all that stuff if you want to do really racy stuff. I've also got the performance setting with the engine stuff, consumption stuff, and then this IWC thing's kind of a cool animation there. Not bad. Okay, so let me show you this. So if you go into settings and then go into system, and then you can go into control elements, and then you go AMG steer wheel buttons, right? So this is where you can kind of see what's on what and what's on which button, and then you can edit it, right? So like I can click the little guy here and I can add stuff. Like I think I already have a lot, but like this is all the stuff that you can add. You can kind of pause the video and see what you want. You can see, I can like quick select stuff, vehicle data, engine data. I can have like all that stuff just ready to go, right? And then dynamic select, obviously you can go there. So that's a little bit faster to go to. You can actually click your dynamic button and then go settings select, and it's actually quicker to get just instead of going to settings, which is really cool. And then since we're here, I'll tell you about this infotainment. Like I said, we have Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, very good built-in navigation, which I never use because I'm using the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so very good. I like these vents. Check this out. When I do hot air, they kind of turn red. I don't know how you're seeing that on camera, but they do turn red when you do hot air or cold air. So that's very nice. I sync that usually. Then we have this little storage compartment down here, as well as our HVAC controls, very easy to use. Dual zone automatic climate control, of course. Then I've got the USB-C that connects to the car. I like to use the wired CarPlay, so I'm always there. 2 cup holders, standard, dynamic, like I just showed you that button. This is the parking sensors. There's an automatic parking feature, which is interesting. It does work well. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the BMW stuff, so no problem there. Then we also have kind of like a little storage here. Could have been the wireless charger, but in my trim it isn't. You can see the ambient lighting now a little bit more. It's coming through. Same thing on the door there. And also these kind of Mercedes stars will light up as well. It's very nice. A little bit of storage down here, kind of opens up in Mercedes fashion. Passenger seats, the same thing. We do have some massage seats in here, which is called, if you go into the app, or comfort, sorry, and then you use seat kinetics, it'll kind of like activate for you, and you can choose, you know, what you want, program length, stuff like that, and it's kind of gonna move your seat around a bit. It's interesting. You kind of have to try it to understand what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ. And then last but not least, we'll talk about my digital gauge cluster. So I have some stuff here where I can show you the home button here. We press the home button, and then we have a whole bunch of like different kind of setups or themes that we can do. So I can do like a sport theme that's going to give you like a super sporty look. This one's a lot of info in it, but it shows you my setup. So like maybe if you're on a track or something, you want to do that. But there's also like a super sport package as well. Whoops, that put me back into the other sport. This one, super sport, where you can see it is a lot of information at once, which you can toggle through pretty much on all of these. Just kind of have a basic one. It kind of looks like a spaceship, this one. And then we could also have track pace here, which is again another one. Personally though, I just like the classic. It gives me the information I need. It's got like this cool eco display. You can see I'm on 2 because I'm a nuisance with this thing and I rip around a lot, but you can see that it's there. And yeah, I like the classic display. I don't think I need anything else other than that, but it's cool to have the option should you ever own this long term and you get bored. The car kind of feels different when you put that there, so that's cool. So yeah, overall I really do enjoy this interior. Look, it's only my second Mercedes that I've ever driven, the first one being the AMG GLB, so that one was nice, and this is like a little bit of a smaller one, but still this steering wheel really is what I love the most about the interior. I think it's really cool. Sure, there might be some creaks and stuff like that, but honestly, I've seen other videos where it's a lot worse. Mine, honestly, is not really cracking too much. Here, you can see there is some cracking, but it's nowhere near the level that I've heard on some of the stuff. So maybe it's just build quality issues, but I've got a pretty good built one, I think, because other than that, the little creaking and stuff in the plastics, I haven't had any other things that really bother me that much. And yeah, the steering wheel is A+. I'm obsessed with it. So let me tell you how it drives now. Let's take this thing out of the road. I need you guys to hear this exhaust, so let's do that. All right, back behind the wheel of the Mercedes AMG GLA 35. Got the GoPro on my forehead, so let's do this. Yeah, so like my main kind of thing, and I think this is something that a lot of people have echoed as well, is the fact that this feels kind of like a hot hatch, and it almost looks a little like a hot hatch as well, which is cool. I actually don't mind that fact. I don't mind that it's a compact SUV designed or disguised as a hot hatch, whichever one you want to say there. I think that's pretty awesome, actually. And the fact that it's AMG tuned, or just the AMG brand in general, is really cool. To just see kind of one of the smaller vehicles get the AMG kind of treatment, I just love it. And you can see that I have, remember that package I was telling you, the AMG driver's package? Well, that comes with this nice steering wheel, which I would have shown you in the interior tour, but I can tell you now, it is so good when you're actually on the road. It feels so nice. It's a little slippery, I will say, like, you know, like it's easy to just, whereas this kind of has more of like a sticky feeling, like the leather, so you don't have to option it, but honestly, it just looks so good, and it also feels really good. I just don't know how well it's gonna age, right? So let's put it into Sport Mode Plus, because I have a bunch of drive modes, but Sport Mode Plus is the most fun one, and give it the beams. Oh my God. Yeah, so that is probably a little bit of pumped in audio with you know, a genuine exhaust note, which is really good. I think the exhaust noise in here is actually going to be pretty decent, which is awesome. And I mean, like, I can just do that pretty much whenever, right? Like, I can just get on it, and you can see I have like this track screen as well, where it's telling me how much horsepower I was using and how much pound-feet of torque I have, which is really cool. And it's just, look, so the thing where I say like it's kind of loses like the SUV feel is when you talk about the ride quality. Because look, I can go into my individual mode, which keeps everything in full beams except for the suspension, but still, like, it's still kind of a rougher ride. Like, I don't know, eventually probably in the video you'll see me like bouncing around a little bit, and that's just genuinely me bouncing around inside the vehicle. So it is a rough ride. It's not like unbearable to the point where I absolutely hate it. It's just not like high quality SUV. I feel like because the handling like right now is so good, because the speed is so great, I feel like the ride quality kind of took a back seat a little bit. But again, not something that I like find myself being like, oh my god, this is so uncomfortable, I'm bouncing around. It's just a noticeable amount of stiffness in the suspension, and just in the frame itself you can really feel it kind of stiffen up quite a bit. You know, obviously comfort mode does help it quite a bit, so that's why I like individual mode. I think if you have everything in Sport Plus mode and then just the suspension in normal mode is cool. Also, like, I can change that on the fly if I want, which is awesome. So I can be in Sport Plus mode and I could see a couple of bumps coming on, and I could put the suspension back to comfort like really quick with this kind of, you know, these buttons here on the side, which makes me feel like an absolute F1 driver. I'm just here for it. And I mean, yeah, like, it's just, my only other experience with a Mercedes AMG is the AMG GLB 35. So now I've got the GLA, so it's a little bit smaller, still the number 35, still AMG, still lightning quick. And I think the GLB I had in the winter, so I was a bit afraid to push it. This thing, I've been pushing it, and it's been sending power to all the wheels anytime I want it. Like, it does have that little 48 volt, I think it is, power supply on board, so the mild hybrid system that's kind of helping you. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but when I lift off the throttle, it is charging the battery. I think it's just a charge and deploy situation, although I can't actually see what the battery's doing and when it's doing it. That's the only thing. Now, I've also got a manual mode, which I find pretty awesome. So let's go back to Sport Plus here. Manual mode. And you can shift all the way at that 6,000 RPM. Oh, and it sounds so good when you do it. And it, like, that's fourth gear, and I'm already going over 100 kilometers. And it's just so good. Like, and it stays. It doesn't manual take control for me. It suggests which gears I should go in and when to upshift, when to downshift, stuff like that. But it doesn't like force me to do it. I could redline this thing, which is, to me, in a sense, a true sporty transmission. And it's also lightning quick. Like, it's a DCT, so 10-speed automatic dual clutch transmission that is lightning. So, like, you see now that I haven't shifted in a while, it went back to normal mode, like just normal drive mode. So it will do that, but like while you're actively using the gears, it will not take manual control. It will let you just, you know, mess around, which I absolutely love. And you can do it at any moment. Like, I can downshift whenever I need to and just absolutely fly. So yeah, like the speed, the transmission speed is really good. It's also a smooth and like it's a sporty shift. It feels very direct and very intentional when it shifts up, even in the automatic mode. I love it. I think a lot of people complain about the GLA being really expensive, and I echo that. I understand that. It's very, very expensive. But honestly, for this small package to have this amount of torque and this amount of speed, it's impressive to me. It almost makes it almost worth the price. And for me, like, you know, maybe I'm not spoiled yet, and maybe I haven't seen everything that Mercedes has to offer, but my goodness, is this GLA 35 an absolute riot. It's just a driver's car. I don't know. I just really like it. It drives like a hot hatch, has the space of an SUV. I mean, what more could I ask for? Woo! Yeah, you see, like, handling is just so direct. oh man, I can do this all day. I could do this for, I think I could fill up an entire 20-minute video of me just doing that around town. The only risk is going to jail, and that's kind of the challenge, is to stay out of the cell this week, because it's just so fun to keep in Sport Plus mode and rip around. I don't mind that it's a really rigid suspension. I don't care, because when you have that trade-off, like, you know, it's either like a decent amount of sport mode, or like a decent amount of speed and like a good amount of comfort, or like a really good amount of comfort and like maybe a little bit less speed, or so much speed, less comfort. When it goes this fast, see, I can't even speak. When it goes this fast and that quickly, and the acceleration sounds like that and it feels like that, honestly, you forget about the bumpiness, because you're kind of going too fast. You're trying to just, you know, stay in a straight line kind of thing. So look, I really don't mind, and I think it's really cool. The coolest thing of it, like, maybe some interior features are lacking, whatever, but I just find that the driving is where it's at. And for me, when I take an AMG, anything, like, the driving has to be good. Like, bar anything else, the driving has to be really, really good. The engine noise has to be good. And I think in those areas, it's all good. It's all impressive. So I'll let you be the judge. You think it's worth $77,000 as tested, or would you go with something else? I want to know in the comments. Or are you going to take something like a BMW or something that competes with this thing? But Mercedes does it differently, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave things there. If you wanna see more videos like this from me, and if you found this video helpful at all, you gotta go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications. That way you don't miss a new video, because YouTube is really bad at telling you when I actually post. And I've got a whole bunch of I've got a bunch more new cars and cool cars just like this for the entire month of August. It's really going to be non-stop fun stuff, non-stop interesting stuff, and, you know, maybe a little bit on the luxurious side too. So you're not going to want to miss a single thing. So make sure you press subscribe and stay tuned for all of that coming up. I can't wait to show you this stuff. So that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.